Hey, Levins, it's Queen Cooley. How are you? If you're in the States, it is the day before the 4th of July. July, as we say down here in the South. And I hope you guys have a great 4th. And probably a lot of you are taking the Friday off as well. So if you are, awesome for you. Um, I haven't spoken to you guys in a bit, and I wanted to give you a video because a couple of things came up that I wanted to go over with you, and I hope they resonate with you. If you don't know who I am, I'm Queen Cooley. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here with me before and watched my videos, thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every single one of you because I know there's a million places that you could be, and I really appreciate your time. This is for the 11s. I'm an 11 as well. We are completely different beings, and I say that with a lot of pride and love in my heart, because 11s are very much misjudged, misunderstood quite a bit of the time. And so I speak to God. If you guys don't know, that's what I do. I speak to God, I speak to your ancestors, I speak to angels, but mostly to God, and I get direction and I get downloads specifically for humanity. And so I've been keeping track of these for quite a few years, and now I'm going to be sending them out. I started another channel, which I'll link below. And it's just going to be me reading what some of this information is, because this stuff's timeless. I'm going to read you something from like 1999, 2000, something like that. Timeless. I'm sorry, 2020. Yeah, 2000. No, 2000. Sorry, 2000. Uh, yeah, I know it's the end of the day. Um, and it's still relevant today. So I'm going to start off with this reading. This is a short one. Keep your heart open, guys. I saw a huge heart, a box that was handed to me. It was a wooden box and it was hand carved. And I said, "What's in it?" And the answer was, "Your heart. Keep it close to you. It's your greatest gift." And the lesson is that many will not understand what you do or your gifts. They will be skeptical. Let it go. Don't worry and don't fear. Only those who are enlightened will know its light and gift. They'll know. The gift is your birthright. It's a strength. It cannot be bought, learned, or found. It was bestowed upon you by the Almighty. With your gift, they see Him, which is a blessing they recognize. When you lift your heart to the Lord, things happen. Surrender to Him daily and accept His will and be flexible. Guys, whatever you believe is okay. You can be spiritual. You can just believe in spirit. You can believe in Allah or Lord Ganesh or Lordship, whatever. It doesn't matter. For me, it's God. So that's why I say God, but just substitute in whatever works for you. My message is, you are a divine sentient being. I talk to God all the time and go up to the realms very frequently and meditate and receive downloads and information back for humanity. You are amazing. Being an 11, you probably heard this before, we have a lot of layers, but what you have to remember is this. You think that people can see what you see, and you think that people can feel and understand what you feel and understand, and they can't. Okay? It's like if you and I were to take anyone who is not an 11 and maybe is not as enlightened, and we went to see some art somewhere, and we both saw the same thing, and you and I could be like moved to tears. And the other person is like, "I don't get it. Why are you guys crying? Like, why are you so feeling this?" "Oh my gosh, we feel with the pain or the joy that went into creating this. Can't you feel that vibration?" No, they can't. Sadly, they cannot. You have to remember that most people don't see a tenth or feel a tenth of what you see and feel on a daily basis. No wonder people don't understand us. And so we get misunderstood, and people think that we're aloof when we're not. People think that because we don't want to go to parties because there's so much energy being thrown at us and you're trying to swerve and figure out what's what and who's who. And is this energy going to hurt me? Is this one trying to take my energy and take my power? You know, what's going on? Um, whereas other people just go to the party, call it a day, have a few drinks and enjoy it. It's not like that for us. I wish it was. I really do. Um, but we are so authentic. We can't lie to ourselves. We can't lie to others. And if we do, it just catches up with us. We feel things differently. And you have to remember that. It's almost like looking at someone who's not as enlightened. This is not a race. We are all on a timeline. Okay. So if I'm here, there's people way ahead of me, right? Amazing shamans, people that have been doing this a lot longer, or they're deeper and amazing. They have gifts like you wouldn't believe. And there's people on the other side of me that maybe aren't as enlightened. Maybe they're just starting and they don't know what's going on. So they're still within this world that we live in, right? This 3D world. So they don't get me. As the shaman ahead of me might get me, but he'll think I'm kind of like in a baby state. But this person over here who I'm ahead of on this timeline, I may think, yep, they're in their baby state. So the point is, there's people always ahead of you and people behind you. There's no judgment. Don't judge anybody if you can help it. I try not to, because it's too big of a burden. And frankly, we've got other things to do. Judging is not for us, even though we're so easily led down that road. So the box with the huge heart in it that was handed to me is one of my and one of your greatest attributes. Now, a lot of you think out there with logic, and logic is great. But I would say to you that the heart, and I know this has been proven through the Heart Math Institute, the heart knows ahead of the brain, right? Always. We, as sensitives, are better to really listen to our hearts first rather than logic. And a really empowered 11 does both, right? And can compartmentalize, but we should bring it together as much as possible. So that's one thing I wanted to bring to your attention. Now, something else came up. When I speak with clients, I would say, you know this from if you've been with me for a while, and if you haven't, the reason I started to help people and have my own business was because of my gifts, but also because I really understood that a lot of my life, huge part of it, was unfortunately filled with fear. And I didn't even have a plan. Like, I'm talking professionally. I just kind of bebop to different places. I wish I'd had a plan. I wish I had been more well thought out, but I just thought that every place I was would be amazing and perfect, and that would be that, but it wasn't that way. So I've lived a lot of my life with fear because I was attacked when I was really, really small, not physically, but emotionally, from a teacher who basically told me that I was nothing and never would be. And in her classroom, that was her land and her world, and I could not be who I wanted to be. And that was just me being me, which is what happens to a lot of you out there. So we shut ourselves down, right? And shut ourselves off. Old story. But the fear is something that you do need to work through. And this is what I heard. All your life, the devil has broken you down and held you in place with fear. Fear of self is an ugly, living, breathing thing in a person with tentacles that stick. No longer are you led, immobilized in prison. You are free, truly free, right? Now the earth shakes when you arise, for you do God's work. Shine brighter, shine more, and I will send you where you are most needed. Do not fear. Look not with your own eyes, but with the eyes of faith and love. See through my eyes, right? Your talent is huge. Transformation means letting go and forgiving yourself, asking others forgiveness, no matter their age. That is the beauty of love. Your weakness is your strength. Behold, by asking for forgiveness, you are forgiven and loved dearly. One of the biggest and best things about you is your heart, right? Because that's where everything lives within us as 11s. When you let your logic shine through ahead of your heart, that's usually an invitation for the dark ones to really get at you, right? And they will. They'll try. And sometimes they'll be successful. Because success to them is anytime that you can shift your gaze away from what you need to be doing or your goals, that's a win for them, which is why we're so often distracted. And we have shiny object syndrome, so that doesn't help. And we have a lot on our minds, and that doesn't help, right? So stay on task as much as you possibly can. But don't think that your heart is a weakness. It's strength. It's a huge advantage you have because your heart never lies. And if you can follow your heart more than your logical brain, you're going to win every time. Because I guarantee you this, if you're sitting in an interview, as I used to, and your heart's saying, you know what, this is a great opportunity, but it's not gonna work for you. You'll be bored within a year, 1 year. And I'm like, no, 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 I'll be okay. Sure enough, within a year, bored. Didn't work anymore. So whatever your heart is telling you and your intuition is your higher self helping you. Don't ignore it, right? Move towards it, not away from it. The other reason I wanted to talk to you today is because so many of you are digging and trying to figure out why you feel stuck and why you feel separated, you're different, and you hate it. And I know all that, but that just means that you might have a little more work to do on understanding just how magnificent you truly are. Because as an 11, you have access to things that nobody else can see, hear, think, or feel. And you have it in spades. So be thankful for that. It's an edge. Use it to make yourself happy, have a happy life, and live in this world and bring light to wherever you go. That's your job. And also that it can help others that you're around, right? It's very important. Most of all, be true to yourself and forgive yourself for things that you may have said or done in a different time that hurt others. Sometimes we're too honest. And sometimes we say things that maybe we shouldn't because people aren't ready for them. And we are you have a lot of power in your words. Your words can hurt someone or they can nurture them. It just depends. So be careful on what you say and how you say things, because I know we can hurt people really easily, but that's not what we're here for. You know, we're here to lift others up and for you to have a great life. And to do that, you've got to be true to yourself, no one else, right? So as an 11, empower yourself and move forward. Use your gifts to the best of your ability. And if you've hurt others in the past, you can always go ask for forgiveness. You can also reframe, which means discernment. Basically, you can go back in time and think, you know what? I did the best that I could with what I had. Be gentle with yourself. Now you have the answers. Back then you didn't. You did the best you could with what you had at that time, the tools that were in front of you. Right? And things always happen for a reason. And sometimes it's not about us, it's about the other person. We are here to make a difference and we are here to lead. That's what 11s are here for. And we're here on a big scale. Every 11 I've ever spoken to feels this. So don't hide anymore because things are tough and difficult. They're for everybody, you guys, right? The world needs your light. I can't do it by myself. So let's go. Let's go. I hope this helped you. I wanted to give you some inspiration and motivation. You are way more than you think you are. You're amazing in every way and shape. And I'm sending you all a ton of light and happiness and joy. I hope you have a great 4th. And if you don't have the 4th, I hope you have a great rest of the week. And I'll talk to you soon. If you want to work with me or are interested in the Brave Academy, all the information's below. Thanks so much.